Buckle up, kids, you're about to get a history lesson, so listen very carefully. The year is 1519, and Hernan Cortes and his men of 500 soldiers and 100 sailors set out to the New World to conquer what was known then the Aztec Empire. But for 600 men to conquer a whole empire was near suicide for Cortes's men, and so they plotted to escape using the ships in which they arrived in at the port. Upon hearing the plotted escape, Cortes responded, "Well then, if we are to return home, we ought to take their ships." And so he burnt his own ships with the only one option left, which was to fight. Failure was not an option. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because this has been seen time and time again in history. You know, with Alexander the Great arriving upon the Persian shores, he burned his own ships and you just had to fight, right? The only way to escape the whole island and the whole area was to conquer. Sun Tzu, you know, the big famous general, had to destroy his own bridges in the enemy territories, which means he couldn't return back home. And the Battle of Julu back in 208 BC, where General Jingyu said, or should I say ordered, break the kettles and sink the boats. Now the concept of what these men are doing, you know, is making failure not an option, or as I like to put it, fuck your plan B. Now I dropped out of university essentially because I didn't like where my life was going. I didn't like the path I was taking, the path I was forced upon by my parents. And, you know, I don't blame them. That's all they knew. It's what they saw growing up and saw success in that. But in today's generation, it doesn't seem to be the case, right? You know, times change. You need to adapt your current situations to how you can succeed best in your current times. And going down 9 to 5, for me, I didn't see any success, any happiness, any opportunities down that path, right? You know, being stuck in a wage, which I thought was not good. And I'm going to make another video on why being stuck in a wage is very bad for you and how they use the wage to keep you trapped in this rat race, right? And I had dreams while I was in my university accommodation. You know, I was getting assistance from parents, maintenance loan, so I was pretty comfortable. Essentially, I was just going out and partying, come back, and I was pretty chill, you know. In a way that kind of ruined my hunger. I did have things I wanted to achieve in my mind, but I had all these distractions around me. I was living too comfortable. When you're too comfortable, it's really hard to really achieve your dreams, you know, because it ruins that ambition of yours. And so while it was destroying my hunger, I decided to drop out, right? I was like, if I do graduate, then essentially I have a degree, and which that is a plan B. And when you have a plan B, you cannot focus on your goals. You cannot focus on your main goal. Because whenever you go through a certain hardship on that plan A, then you're always going to fall back to plan B, right? So the idea here of what I did, I was like, fuck this plan B, I sunk that boat. Essentially a do or die mentality. Now, researchers has even proved this, that, you know, when you're trying to focus on your goal and your main vision, but you have that backup plan, you know, something to fall back on, that impedes your decision making for your plan A, because you're not willing to take risks. You're not willing to calculate decisions, because you know at the end of the day, if you fail, you go through a little bit of hardship. You have that plan B just to fall back on. And when you fall back on your plan B, you're comfortable and you don't want to take that risk of plan A again. So having a plan B essentially makes you less motivated to really focus on your plan A. However, if you cut plan B out the window and you only have your main goal to focus in, that's the only option you have. And so this is why I love history so much, because you see all these battles, these stories, and even the myths that come out of the past. It teaches you a lot about life. It teaches you a lot of how you can deal with life and how you can tackle certain aspects in your journey. Because, you know, people in the past have been through all these things. So all you have to do is just read upon your mentors, your dead mentors, you know. Read a couple books and then you can see where they went wrong in life, where they went right, and apply it to your life and do the exact same. The fundamental problems in our life aren't unique, you know. We've been around for God knows how many years, you know, 250,000 years. Any problems that we go through, they've been through before, all right? We're not unique in a way. So there are ways to deal with your problems, there are ways to deal with your goals and how to achieve your goals, you know. People have accomplished it, you just got to learn through them and apply it yourself. The problem is, I see a lot of guys, you know, they're following down this traditional path which they don't want to take, you know. They're living a life of quiet desperation, and in the end, they're unable to really achieve their dreams. Now these are smart individuals, you know, you see all around the world, guys who are very intelligent, but because they're following the path that they've been told, you know, go down, maybe it's university and 9 to 5, get a wage, a comfortable salary per year. That keeps them comfortable. And so they don't want to take any risks because they don't want to lose everything that they have. They don't want to deem, lower in society by the peers, by the family, by the friends. They're not willing to go short periods of pain and discomfort to really go for what they really want in life. So essentially, they have a fear of what other people think. And having a fear of what other people think is an absolute detriment to your goals and your dreams, okay? But the majority of people don't go full force on their dreams and ambitions because, like I said before, fear out of family, fear out of friends, fear out of making little to no money for a short period and just being seen less than other people. And from what I've seen and from what people are telling me, especially the older generations, they say the one path that leads to is regret. And regret is something I don't want to deal with, and I don't think you want to deal with either, let's be honest. I hear so many people who say, oh no, you should have a plan B, you should always have a backup plan when it comes to like these decisions. But I can guarantee you right now, the people who are giving that same exact advice, look at where their life is, right? Are they rich? No. Have they accomplished a lot in life? No. These are maybe your parents, maybe your uncles, your aunties, your family. And of course, don't blame them for what they have. They've probably achieved hard, but that's not the life you want. That's not the path you want to take. And that's perfectly fine. Now, the reason I love cutting that plan B off is because of a do and die mentality, right? Your mind in survival state can do so many things and it can accomplish a lot more than you think you can, right? And it unlocks a certain side of yourself that you never thought was possible. And many people do not go through this experience throughout their life, essentially because they never put themselves through hardships. They never managed to take any risks, and where things just fall apart and they're back to square zero. Because these type of people just take the safe route in life. Now, of course, in my opinion, this is my opinion, I think they're a bunch of pussies, okay? They're a bunch of pussies. They don't want to take any risks in life. Anyone who does not want to take risks in life, I think you're a bitch, okay? And if that's you, I'd rather you just click off the video. So, the problem with having a plan B or having a backup option is it creates a seed of doubt in your goals and your visions. Any sort of hardship you go through, you're just going to fall back to plan B and you won't be able to stick it through. You don't have that tenacity. You don't build that resilience and you don't give it 100%, right? And of course, to all my fellow viewers, if you do take this path of really achieving your goals and your dreams, write it down on paper and really going for it, at times it's going to be hard. Prepare to be dead to your parents for not believing in your dreams and think you're stupid for giving up like a comfortable wage, comfortable salary, comfortable path, right? They'll think you're an idiot for taking that risk. But of course, they're your parents. They want the best for you. They want you to be comfortable. They want you to be safe. That's not their fault. That's just their parenting nature. Prepare to be mocked to your family. Prepare to be mocked by your friends for taking such risks, because you essentially in the start you may fall behind as everyone overtakes you, and that's perfectly fine, right? You're going to get ridiculed. This is just the way things are. And some people take the safe route. Their growth is just linear. Their growth is like this, and it just year by year improves slightly. You get that little wage increase. Maybe earning 40,000 a year, then you get 45,000 a year, then 50,000 a year, right? Their growth is just very linear. It's very slow. Whereas if you take the path that you want to take, your dreams, your ambitions, growth initially will be like this, and then it becomes like this. It is exponential and it shoots up, right? And you see it time again with entrepreneurs. You see it time again with, with these social media stars. You see it again with sports stars. Literally, it's like this, and it shoots up at some point. But by burning that boat, by burning that bridge behind you, the rewards will be exponential. At the end stage, you'll be respected for taking such risks. You can look your kids in the eye one day and be like, I took this risk and look how it turned out for me, and you can do it too, right? Now, a lot of parents can't say that because they're all just fucking pussies and they've never done anything in their life. So they can't look their kids in the eye and tell them, achieve your dreams, achieve all these things, because they didn't do it. So why should they tell their sons or daughters to do it? And, along the journey, when your parents start to retire, you can finally take care of them. And lastly, it builds that character. It builds that inner confidence, knowing you took such risks and you pulled through and made it out in the end, all right? Now, at the start, your dreams and your goals, they do come at the cost of humiliation, sacrifice, stagnation, and that's fine. I'm willing to go through that. The question is, are you guys willing to go through that? We all have to go through it if we want to achieve big things in life, all right? But of course, ask yourself this: do you want a mediocre life? Because I can guarantee you, For most of you, it's no. You know, none of you actually want a mediocre life. You all want big things. But only a certain few actually achieve it, right? And that's because, like I said before, they don't want to go through all that ridicule and hardship. Be like Alexander, be like Sun Tzu, be like Hernan Cortez and his men. If they can do it, why can't you?